Hey everybody, it's Benjamin coming back at you with more fragrances, more colognes, more perfumes, all those great smelly things. You know that I'm a fragrance enthusiast, I'm a fragrance lover, and I'm a fragrance reviewer. So thank you so much for stopping by today. We're going to be talking about Velvet Lavender from the house of EB Florals. This is one of my favorite creations, like lavender-wise, one of my favorite lavender fragrances I've ever come across. I think that this stuff is stellar juice, so let me tell you all about it today. So first off, it's Velvet Lavender. You expected lavender, didn't you? But there's a lot more to this fragrance than just lavender. I do want to say, first off, the heart of the fragrance is lavender. It does come through. But to me, essential oil lavender always smells very purple. This is more of that airy, fresh, almost cotton-like amber. It's a signature lavender smell. It's very interesting. It's very likable. But this fragrance is charming because of a mix of notes. It's not just because of the lavender. In the top, there's a very interesting freshness. There's some apricot. There's a tiny bit of fruitiness. There's a tiny bit of sweetness. But this fragrance doesn't become overly sweet, and it doesn't really have a sweet type of DNA to it. If it did, it probably would come off a little bit more modern. Some people out there probably would like it to be a little bit more fruity, but there's just a tiny bit of that apricot in the opening. A little bit of sweetness just to kind of wrap everything together, kind of smooth everything out. There is, I think, a little bit of sage and some sandalwood and some other odd notes in the dry down, but overall it's smooth, it's almost creamy, it's a little bit delicate, and it's a very likable lavender fragrance. It's very wearable. It's perfectly unisex, but I do feel like because of the apricot, which to me, again, smells similar to a peach kind of smell, I do think that that is something ladies would gravitate more towards, and I would prefer this much on a lady personally. It does kind of become, in a way, it's a semi-musky smell. And to me, I love those musky peach kind of smells with vanilla. And there's a tiny bit of vanilla in the dry down, but I don't want to emphasis on the vanilla. I don't think that there's a lot of it here. And I don't think the vanilla steals the show. So if you're expecting a vanilla fragrance, I don't think that that's what's going on here. But the biggest notes are probably, sandalwood, vanilla, of course the lavender, and maybe some of that apricot with a bunch of supporting notes. So a very nice fragrance, very nice for a lady, very charming and kind of somewhat understated classy, a little bit sophisticated without being overtly classy. You could dress this up, of course. I think it would do very well dressed up, but I do think that it's a little bit also, it can be dressed down as well. It's not the classiest fragrance, but it's an upscale fragrance. Very well done. And if you haven't seen the bottle, I put the bottle in the thumbnail. But this brand has beautiful bottles, a beautiful presentation, and I really do think that if you like a good presentation, if you like, lavender fragrances, or maybe fragrances that are a little bit mature but still modern enough, I wouldn't consider this a retro fragrance, but because of the lavender, it's not a fruity floral. It's not the most girly sweet fragrance. I do think that, a lady who's a little bit more confident about herself, maybe a little bit more reserved, would like this fragrance. But I don't think this smells vintage or old in any way. I think this fragrance, is very kind of modern in regards. I just like oak moss. I really don't feel like lavender is a vintage note. Just because I smell lavender in a fragrance, I don't think it smells old at all. But I do feel like, a lady who's a little bit more, of a conscientious, maybe a calm lady, maybe a little bit more of a reserved lady would love a fragrance like this. Very nice juice. I have some sprayed on my hand here. It is a little bit on the lighter side. Let's talk about that performance. I do think that this is more of an average projecting fragrance. It does smell a little bit natural in a way, and some of the notes come off fairly authentic, so I don't think the longevity is great on this fragrance. When I did test this fragrance and I went out and about, it gave me 5 hours or so, 5, maybe 6 hours. It's probably more of a 6-hour fragrance for the average person, but it kind of gives, I don't know, average or maybe slightly below average projection, and the sillage is just all right. So this isn't a loud fragrance. This isn't a fragrance that demands attention, but it is kind of sophisticated and soft, very well natured, a very good fragrance, I think, for a lady. I would love to smell, a fragrance like this on a lady, and, a lady who would wear a fragrance like this and her personality. So Compliment factor wise, again, to me, this is a unisex fragrance, but I do feel like it's a little bit better for a lady. I didn't wear this too often around other people. I did let people smell the decant and, wear a spray on themselves if they wanted to. And a lot of ladies like this fragrance, but they weren't exactly excited. It's not super fruity, it's not super sweet, but they did like how it was calming. They did think it was like something they would love to wear, before going to bed, or just taking it easy, out and about the house, maybe, Netflixing. Lavender always has that kind of edge to it, or character, where it's very calming. It's kind of therapeutic in a way. And this is a very charming lavender fragrances. We don't see a lot of lavender fragrances around. We don't see a lot of lavender fragrances fragrances that have that kind of heart or use lavender in a big way. It's kind of fallen out of popularity, and I think that this one is very well done. I think that there's good quality here. Again, the presentation and bottles aren't everything, but the bottle that comes with this fragrance is absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful fragrance, and it smells very nice. This fragrance is recommended from me. It is niche. It is higher end. Expect to pay a high price. You can get decants from places. Again, not everybody likes them, but this one is from Scentbird. But I am going to link Swift Scents down below. Swift Scents is a great discounter, and they've sent me some samples by. I do want to give them some attention. I do want to recommend them because they've always treated me right. Anyways, I recommend this fragrance. If you can find a decant of it, I recommend it. If you're a lady out there who does love lavender fragrances, maybe you're a lady out there who's more calm, more reserved, maybe you're more of a bookworm type lady. I'm not sure who would wear this, but I do want to meet this kind of lady. It's a good fragrance. I find it very calming and very charming in its own sophisticated, fancy little way. So a very good fragrance. I like this one. It's might be for somebody who's a little bit of a OCD or a little bit of a neat freak. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to put it out there for maybe a personality. Try this fragrance out. It might work for you. It might not, but I think that this is a great ladies fragrance. It's a departure from the sweet, fruity fragrances, the vanilla heavy fragrances, the gourmands, and some of the really heavy, strong florals. Even though they're wonderful, the jasmines and the tuberoses and some of those fragrances, this is a departure from that, and it might be very refreshing for you. You might just love it. So, recommended here at the Scentatar Fragrance Channel. Very nice juice indeed. I really like this one again. And again, it's Velvet Lavender from EB Florals. I'll check me out. Thank y'all so much for stopping by and spending that time with me to, check me out and my channel. If you did like my content here today, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share the video, tell a friend, and when you do hit the notification bell, hit all notifications, please, so you get notified of all my content. I've been uploading every day. I've been very, very consistent. If you love fragrance, if you're always interested in finding new fragrances, saving money, finding a good, fragrance, perfume, cologne, whatever it is, this is a great channel for you. I hope that you enjoy my content. Let me know below. Do you like lavender fragrances? Do you know of a lot of fragrances that have lavender in them for a lady? There's not a lot of them out there. This one is very well crafted and very well done, and that's one of the reasons I'm so positive or so enthusiastic about this fragrance. It's very well done. Let me know, does this fragrance sound nice? Does it sound interesting? I'll provide a link down below to this fragrance so you can see the bottle and see what's going on with this fragrance, because it's another niche brand that's flying under people's radars. People aren't paying attention, or people don't know about it, and it deserves a little bit of love. So everybody, thank you so much for your time. Stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Wear what you love, rock what you got, and I'll see you, everybody, and bye.